Although that boy's on audio for show. Welcome to another episode of Puro Pinche Sports. I am your host, Jose Garza, and tonight I'm joined by my co-hosts, Alex de la Cruz, Arturo Ibarra. What's going on, fellas?
What's up, man?
So
How you
what's going
doing?
on?
That Chicago swag. What the fuck? Y'all just came out at the same time. Okay. Cool. Anyways, a lot's happened, guys. A lot's happened. Actually, I'll let y'all start out. What do y'all want to talk about? Art, what do you want to talk about first? We got three major topics today. We got the Super Bowl matchup. We can talk about the NFC Championship, AFC Championship. We can talk about Tom Brady's retirement, or we could talk about Brian Flores going up against the NFL racially. Like he's gonna. You started Black History Month. Hi, Brian Flores. But Art, I'm gonna let you pick this week. Which one do you want to start with first?
Um, we can talk with the controversial topic. The Brian Flores going against the NFL. But first of all, man, the week has been great. We both and another person went to a Spurs game last week, and it was great. It was awesome.
Yeah, fantastic.
Especially the little gift boxes that we received. Man, that was a good buy.
That was
And that little
fantastic.
bobblehead right there. Where is it? Where's my camera? There it is.
I see
That
it.
free
It's all
bobblehead that I had to
swindle.
swindle and say that I was
The
from
Spurs
out of town.
organization.
But um, either way, man, that whole controversy between that coach and the NFL and some of the text messages that have been flying around.
Billy
I feel
B.
like people don't learn
Uh,
from past experiences, but that sucks, man. That sucks.
Alex, how's your week been?
Yeah, it's been all right. I just, had a wedding to go to Saturday, so it was pretty exciting.
Nice.
Mm. And then Justin ran over our log, and so our car was like upside down.
Hell yeah, brother. That's the life. Is that not how we're supposed to be driving these days? I mean, just drive up onto logs and a little dart and just hope for the best.
You're
Up
you're
wheelie.
breaking up. I could barely hear you.
You can hear me, Art? Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Okay.
man. I'm
Art.
choking my water though.
Okay. So Art can hear me. Okay. So Alex, how about now? Can you hear me now? He can't hear me right now. Okay.
Was
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hear me now? Hear me now? Technical difficulties,
no.
guys. It happens. Alex is at home with everybody, so everybody's on the Wi-Fi right now, so it's slowing down on his side. All right. Alex, let me know if you catch back on, if you hear me. Okay, or leave, and then
He'll log in
he'll
back
be.
in.
He'll be back. He'll be back. All right. So to discuss the Brian Flores situation first, he is a former Miami Dolphins head coach, and the biggest issue is that he was asked as a head coach, come in like, can you fuck up some games for us? Can you go take some L's?
For
We'll give you
100K.
we'll give you 100K for every loss. Um, and then he's like, no. He adamantly says no. I'm gonna be surprised. Hopefully, if I hope he didn't take any of that money because that's where he'll lose the case. I think too.
Tax return.
I hear y'all live on YouTube. Too many damn people here. Okay, well, I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully, he can join back on that. But it's all good. It's all good. Anyways, to it's a shitty situation, man. I mean, just in general, like we're going through this period now where we should be, as people, as adults, men, women, we should be past all this bullshit that our grandparents went through, our great grandparents went through, our parents went through, um, and we're still having that same shit reoccurring. Excuse my language. I know I'm fucking cussing a lot right now, but it does piss me off a bit here because just, I mean, Art, overall, just give me your thoughts before I start ranting on.
No, man. I mean, I understand what you're going, like what you're trying to say and everything, but it is kind of hard, that we went through that whole era of that Kaepernick, where he kind of stood for the change and everything, and there was a lot of going back and forth from the NFL saying, we're going to stop doing that. We're not going to be racial profiling. We had some issues last season, with some wordage from some of the coaches, some coaches getting fired and everything. And right off the bat, it was like all over the media, and it was kind of stopped there. And then But for this kind of to keep reoccurring and keep happening, it's like, all right, what items or what problems in today's society have more of a way in some of the decisions on how the NFL decides to how to react. But overall, man, it's kind of crazy, and I feel like some people are going to take this out of context. They're going to blow it up to make it bigger than the issue it is. I just hope that they stay true to what it is. It is racial profiling, and if that was the intent for that to be done that way, man, that it just needs to get stopped. They
And
just need to
and my
figure out what happened.
yeah, mind you, like everything's going different. Like he's saying the Giants, we're gonna, they signed him up to get interviewed, right? They asked him, hey, come in, let's do an interview. He gets a text message from Bill Belichick saying, "Hey man, I'm hearing good shit from the Giants. Like, good job, man. Congratulations. Essentially, I'm hearing stuff from Buffalo. I'm hearing stuff from Manhattan. I'm hearing a lot of these things. I wish I had the picture of the text message up here to show everybody, but it's just." And then he has a connection with Brian Flores. Brian Flores came from New England and stuff like that. So for Brian Flores, it's like awesome deal. And then Brian Flores is probably like listening on Twitter and other stuff, like saying, "Wait, you mean Brian the Bull? Like, coach, are you trying to text me or are you trying to text the Bull?" And then Bill goes off. Damn, I fucked up. It looks like they're gonna go with him. My bad, man. Um, which as Bill Belichick will tell you, and I don't think he's lying. He does not know how to use a cell phone properly. Sometimes he doesn't know how to read his contacts and know which Brian the fuck he's talking to. There's probably like a million Brians on his damn contacts list. So that's a lot. That's big bullshit there. Like, and we had heard rumblings about Brian Bull gonna be hired. Prior to then, the news came out saying, "Well, they're gonna interview Brian Flores." It just didn't make sense at the time, but I didn't put two and two together so much because I feel like a lot of us saw that one.
No, we kind of talked about it. If you think about it, when I told you when they were doing the hiring for the Bears and the Giants and figuring out
That's
who
right.
was going to be the one, you did mention, and I told you like, oh, I was like, hey, Brian Flores might be coming to Chicago, and you were like, dude, it sounds like they're just doing. It just sounds like every NFL team is doing that profiling kind of thing. Oh, we're interviewing one person of ethnicity that's different just to kind of meet that requirement. So that's kind of sad, but
What do you think about his allegations with the Broncos saying that he had a morning meeting about 7:30 a.m. and then John Elway and other guys showed up all late, like an hour late or so, and then they showed up inebriated, essentially, like they were like hungover from the night before. What are your thoughts on that?
So I think that's where I meant to say that people are going to take this situation and kind of mix other problems into it. Like I feel like the issue right now is what happened with the Giants, and that should be addressed. And to me, it kind of raises a flag of saying, okay, if that happened with the Broncos last time that they kind of like talked to you about getting hired and everything, why didn't that get brought up into picture at that moment? Why is it coming now? So I feel like it's gonna make his statement a little bit less believable because it's like, all right, now you're bringing all this stuff up when you should have brought it into context when it happened.
We were talking about since he was 2 years old. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
But I mean, at the time too, like he got hired by the Dolphins. So maybe at the time he was like, unlike right now, like he decided to step up and like face the consequences of like probably never getting hired as a head coach. He got hired by the Dolphins and he probably just like brushed that off and said whatever for now. But not forgetting, of course, because he ended up bringing it up after all. It's just a shame, man, because you got three different, like, essentially scandals. Maybe two, if you want to confine Denver situation and Giants as the same thing. They're just bringing them in for the Rooney Rule situation. Interview a black man, you get your check mark. Hey, got off the list. I interviewed a black man or minority, which is a fucking damn shame, man. Because we're at 2022. Like, bro, there's brilliant people out there from different races, different fucking shit. Like, you don't gotta be white, you don't gotta be Mexican, you don't gotta be Spaniard, you don't gotta be black, Chinese, Asian, Japanese, whatever you go to. You don't gotta. If you're smart and you bring something to the table, let's let them in, man. Let's let them fucking do something because the norm is not working. Like, how do you go from, like, let's use the Giants for example, right? You hired Joe Judge, the special teams coordinator for the Patriots. You hired him to be your head coach. But you're not sure about defensive coordinators, offensive coordinators that are different races. I mean, like there's just so much going on right now. It's pathetic to me at this point. Like we're still going on with this stuff. And I mean, it's not just the NFL, right? It's like worldwide too. Like there's corporations out there that are just like that. Like yeah, we'll hire you as a worker because you're a good worker, but we're not going to move you up from within or anything like that. I mean, overall, career suicide, or is Brian Flores going to be a head coach again?
So I'm hoping that we see a different take from what we saw with Kaepernick. Like he's still, hopefully he has a chance to come back in the NFL, but I really completely doubt it after his his NFL and Netflix debut of what he did. It was kind of another kind of prick at that issue when that happened. But with Brian Flores, he's a good coach. I mean, he knows the game, so I feel like hopefully they make an example out of it and they don't just dismiss his resume and just like, oh, just because you're suing because of this item, you don't have a chance to work here anymore.
So there's a report coming off from Mike Florio from Embassy Sports. They have a witness that says they heard Stephen Ross, the owner of the Miami Dolphins, offer Brian Flores the $100,000 per loss. They have a key witness for that, and that's huge because that's what you're going to need in this fight. And then Hugh Jackson, who was a former head coach for the Cleveland Browns, and as well Marvin Lewis, a former head coach for the Cincinnati Bengals, they are also going to possibly step in. It's a class action lawsuit, so anybody can jump in at any time they want, and this is huge. The NFL stated an hour or so after Brian Flores during the lawsuit, saying that they will defend the Shield, they will defend everything. These horrible allegations, like you haven't even investigated yet. Bro, do you realize they spent about fucking 18 months on Deflategate before saying a damn word? But they instantly want to come at fucking Brian Flores because he said anything bad. And you know what hurts?
You're calling out the people who created the NFL, which in this instance they were white. You're calling them discrimination. So he may as well not have another chance at coaching, but I don't feel like he's not going to coach ever again. I feel like he is going to. He is going to win some of this class action on it. Especially there's, like you said, there's proof that thing happened. So, and then I don't see how this is not going away.
And then Cowboys owner Jerry Jones came out with a statement saying we can be better. So he's kind of insinuating like he sees it sometimes too. He still, and I don't think like every owner, of course, is racist. Like every owner right now is white. The Packers don't really have an owner. Broncos, we don't know what's going on there because they're selling their franchise. But it's just we gotta change the norm, man. We can't be this same thing that people were fucking the 10s, the 0s, the 90s, the 80s, 60s, 50s, so on and so forth. We can't be like that. We have to be better. We got to move past all this racial shit. Like you don't hire black coaches or minority coaches just so that they can come in and fail for you, and then you fire them and bring in someone else, and then they succeed after that shit. Like imagine that. Like imagine Hugh Jackson, right? Browns franchise is a joke. Like regardless of what they were like a year ago, like they've been a joke for majority of the time. And he took all these L's. And the first season he gets a good because you had all these horrible ones. He gets Baker Mayfield. Baker's like, nah, I don't want him here. So he's gone. And so, but his record ended up fucking negative. But and then what you do, you replace him with the white guy, Freddie Kitchens. And then that doesn't work. So you got to go with Kevin Stefanski, So look at David Culley from the Texans. Same thing. He took the L's for the Texans because Deshaun Watson's not going to play there. So now they fire him after 1 year. And who are they going to bring? Who fucking knows? It's supposed to be Brian Flores is one of the options. And then he also has an interview still with the Saints. So we'll move on here, man. This is something that's going to be talked about a lot more. This conversation is not going to end. But this is something we need to acknowledge right now because it's just insane. Yeah, but it's insane that it's happening. That's what I'm saying overall. Like, can we get over this hump? Like, it's not even a hump. Can we get over this mountain? Like, just let it go.
Yeah.
All right. All right, that news supersedes the news that came out originally Saturday, and then officially came out Tuesday, and that is that Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr. is no longer going to be playing in the NFL. The 7-time champion announced on his Instagram, on Twitter, on social media, essentially, is done. He's not willing to be committed fully to the game anymore. This is it for him. He wants to be with his family. He thanked the Bucks organization. He thanked the fans. He thanked everybody that's been with them, Alex Guerrero, all this other stuff. Patriots fans got mad for no fucking reason, in my opinion, honestly. But overall, Art, with Tom Brady now, what is how do you feel about Tom Brady retiring overall?
I mean, we kind of knew that it was going to happen. He can't play forever, but it's going to be interesting to see a new era of quarterbacks kind of coming in and taking over. Because at this time it was Tom Brady, it was Ben, Peyton. We have, I think, now just left over from that kind of pool of old, not old, but like great quarterbacks that love the game. I mean, we just have Rodgers and Fitzpatrick, like old wise. Like,
well,
to that
Fitzpatrick's
age.
a backup. He ain't the star.
But I'm saying, like, in that pool of that same generation kind of quarterbacks, like, that's pretty much it. I mean, he's not there to play with that caliber of guys, but he did play with them. But I'm saying, like, Rodgers, it's like the only left one. Who else?
Well, he was
Garoppolo?
He was like
Stafford.
What? It's like Garoppolo and Stafford. No, Garoppolo was mid tens. No.
I'm just saying, like, your old quarterbacks that used to play with that Tom Brady age, and like who were the competition.
Well, then it's the six that they're talking about. It's Drew Brees, it's Tom Brady, Big Ben, it's Eli, it's Peyton. Those are the older guys because that's like 2003 and earlier that they got drafted. What you're mentioning are guys that got drafted way after, like 06, 10.
Right. No, but what I'm saying is, like, people who we like to see the game, like people who are like interesting to see. It's like, oh damn, we're gonna see like Eli Manning play, and it's like, I'm not saying we're excited to see Eli Manning, but I'm just using him as a reference.
I definitely not ever excited to see him.
But now it's kind of crazy just to see another great player kind of go away and everything. But hey, he needs to take care of his health, and who knows, maybe he'll come back in a year, after a year rest. We saw that with Gronk. He came back.
You said his health?
Year, 2 years.
What is wrong with his health? There's nothing wrong with him.
He just needs a break. He just needs to break, man.
No, man, he's done. Like, he ain't coming back. This man ain't coming back. At 44, then he's going to come back at 46. He's not coming back. He's done. Tom Brady is done.
If he wants to make a statement, he may come back.
He has 7 rings. The most ever.
I know. I'm just pulling your leg.
I was like, what are you
pulling your leg?
I was like, what are you talking about?
He needs to. We said it from like 2 years ago. He moved to Tampa to retire there, and he just wants to be at a place that he can retire. Florida. That's it. So.
No, he's got his home in California. He's gonna go back home. He's gonna live there. He ain't gonna live in Florida.
I would stay in Florida, man.
You would, but he's got connections over there. That's his like center home. I mean, did he even buy a house in Florida? Wasn't he staying at Derek Jeter's house this whole time? Wasn't he renting it?
I don't know.
So, like, I don't. Regardless, man. Like, I mean, overall, like, yeah, so I'm asking you, like, he's moved on and everything, but like, what like of his career are you gonna remember most, or like what, like, bring back like memories like you have of like Tom Brady, like overall, like what impact he made like against your franchise, against teams that you rooted for to beat him, like what are you gonna remember from him?
Nah, dude, it's just overall NFL, man. Like every team that played Tom Brady, man, it was just like, damn, all right, Tom Brady's gonna win. Here comes the GOAT. It was with the Patriots. We saw with Tampa. He's just another great quarterback, just the same way that I talked up Aaron Rodgers, and he knows how to use the clock, and he's clutch and everything, man. Like, it's one of those things, like those throws and his way of just kind of staying in peace inside the pocket. He just knows how to play that game. I don't think we're going to see someone like that again, or someone that's going to compare to that.
I mean, what I'm just going to remember is like just the fact that this man just came in with passion and tenacity every game he stepped on. Like there was never a time that, like there would be times like it'd be like like we got the Saints game earlier this year, we got a weird blowout or other stuff that was just odd. But you're never gonna say Tom Brady never came in heated, ready to go with a passion. Like the man, like always had like this thing where he wanted to fight everybody essentially because he was the 199 pick, this scrawny kid with fucking no muscle looking on his body when he took off his shirt when he ran. Like this guy came in with full passion. Like every time he was behind the center taking the snap, just getting the ball and dictating the offense. On the sidelines when he'd get mad, it's not because he thinks you're ass or anything. He wants you to step up to the level he knows you can because he's seen you at practice. He knows that you can bring out so much more. If this kid that came from California, who played in Michigan, who grinded and lucked out in the biggest way to be able to become the starter and become the greatest quarterback of all time, he wants the same for you. There's reasons why we see guys like Wes Welker, Julian Edelman, Deion Branch, fucking Randy Moss loved playing with Tom Brady, Rob Gronkowski, Aaron Hernandez before his big old shit. You see why all these guys stepped up. O-linemen too, running backs, guys that you don't even like. These guys, he would find a way, make them fucking look like $1,000,000. And when it was their time to leave, they didn't have that same guy no more. Because what happened to Wes Welker? LeGarrette Blount, you can get he was good on either Patriots or not, right? He won championships with the Eagles against us, son of a bitch. I love you, Blount, but still. But same, like it's just Tom Brady's passion. Like when he would run down the field, like when he came out the tunnel and at the end of the end zone, he would just say, "Let's fucking go!" Like you don't have that passion a lot from these guys. Like sometimes I just happen to be there because they got their checks. I question a lot of these guys' tenacities. Like I'm not going to question Joe Burrows. I'm not going to question Patrick Mahomes. I'm not even Josh Allen. But there's like a lot of guys that are just you're there, but how motivated are you? We question Aaron Rodgers, oddly enough. Like a great quarterback that he is, but he doesn't bring forth that let's go fucking mentality for everybody. Like he's a pretty chill dude. He's a hippie. If you've seen on the Pat McAfee show, like he's a really chill guy. But not saying he's bad or anything, but it's just he had Aaron's chip is that he wasn't picked first or second. Tom is that he thought he was going to be picked in the second or third round, ended up getting picked in the sixth round. Man, as a Brady fan, yes, Pat's fan always, but like as a Brady fan, it's just I don't know if you're right. We're never going to see something like that again. Right? It's just and maybe not in my lifetime, maybe in the future, something like that, but not in my lifetime. I don't think we're going to see another passionate player, someone who can lead a squad. The Patriots did not have an all-star team ever. Like 07 was the only time they did, and they fucking choked in the Super Bowl. You can say they had a super team last year, and they beat down Mahomes, who everybody was crowning as the new prince, the new king of the NFL. But
Tom lasted long.
Yeah, well, we can definitely talk about that in just a bit. But I mean, any final thoughts you got on Tom Brady, man? Like just
man,
overall?
It's just he was fun to watch, and he'll be missed on the field, man.
Dude, and what a way to go out! Like he was down 27-3. And the way he rallied that team back to get them back to tie it up 27-27. They lost. But he did what he always did. Always fought back. The Super Bowl 51 comeback, the fights with the freaking Giants, which sucks, but it happened. Let me ask you this. Of all the Super Bowl wins you saw Brady win, which one was the one that stands out for you? Or what game or when did you start recognizing Tom Brady as a GOAT?
I mean, he's always been the GOAT. I mean,
but not always.
For me to tell you a specific play and a specific, I'm not a Patriots fan, and I was not a Bucks fan, so I didn't really follow.
But you watched the games. Was there a Super Bowl?
Yeah, I watched Super Bowls.
Was there a Super Bowl that stood out to you that said, "Damn, this guy's a fucking GOAT"?
I mean, last Super Bowl, whenever he beats the Chief, that's when I was like, you know what, like that's it. Like he solidified. That's it. He cemented that part of. That's it. I'm the GOAT. You can't like at that moment. I knew there's never gonna be anyone
So why
like
that
him
moment over the Seahawks win, over the
because he
Falcons
wasn't with
win?
Belichick, and it was a statement. A lot of people said, "Oh, is he the GOAT because he had Belichick and Belichick shaped?" Yeah, Belichick shaped him, and a lot of his success was because of how Belichick let him run the game. But the fact that he was able to win a Super Bowl and say, you know what, like I'm able to win a Super Bowl, get my team on contention again this year without the help of Belichick at that moment in that franchise, to me that was like, okay, your coach, you're not the man because of the coach. You're the man because of you, of that individual. So that solidified my thought as that's Tom Brady's GOAT. Period. There's no he's a Michael Jordan pretty much of the NBA. Let's just put it that way. Of the NFL. That to me that's the thing. Like what Jordan did in the NBA is pretty much what Brady has done in the NFL.
I mean, I could some could we could and somebody could have a debate with me about this. Some could argue Tom Brady did more in the NFL than Michael Jordan did in the NBA because like if your standard was at the time, Michael Jordan went 6-0, he won 6 championships. In the NBA, that had already been done, right? Bill Russell won 11. What Tom Brady did, he nearly doubled the most, one quarterback had won. Terry Bradshaw, Joe Montana, 4 rings.
Mhm.
Very, very huge accomplishments for both men, right? Troy Aikman 3, same as others, but to go almost double and essentially,
Mhm.
catapult one franchise to arguably being one of the best franchises ever, and then bringing up and that was impressive to bring Tampa Bay from the bottom up because that ship had really sunk. Jameis Winston, all the quarterbacks they'd had before that, they hadn't done anything since like what 2002 is when they won the chip. Other than that, they're a poor franchise, and to go down there with the Mike Evans, with the Chris Godwin, and then bringing in Gronk and arguably Antonio Brown too, and then just bringing them up to championship level, and then decimating the Kansas City Chiefs. The team that was like at the time going into that game,
The one to
they
be
were
afraid of.
they were 17-1 that season going into that game. If you count postseason matchups. And just the thrashing they can't. And I mind you, I understand the O line for the Chiefs were out, but greatness. Sometimes you have to face adversity with your best guys out. Like everybody's had that.
Mm-hmm.
And Tom Brady and the Bucks were able to shut them down, both the offense and the defense. For me, I would say like when I recognized them as a GOAT was when they beat the Atlanta Falcons when they came back 28-3, down 28-3. And they won the game because no one quarterback had won 5, right? And then second, they came back from 28-3, dude. That's fucking insane. It's a meme to this day. Like to this day, it's still a meme. Like just to there's no collapse like that. I don't. That's why everyone makes fun of it. No, what NFL team has ever had a collapse like that? About what 8 minutes about left in the third quarter. So you have the whole fourth, you have 8 minutes of the third, and then you just butcher that one. You butcher it, and you had a pick 6 on him too, right? So like, that was crazy. But that's when I recognized Tom Brady as the GOAT.
Mm-hmm.
Probably the greatest game as far as like toe to toe was that Seattle Seahawks championship win. That was a beautiful back and forth matchup, which to this day makes me love football. And then but enough of me talking about Tom Brady. I can go like 5 hours talking about Tom
You
Brady,
can.
but I gotta be a professional and move on. So, all right, I'm gonna let you start with this. So we started out Sunday with the AFC Championship game. The Cincinnati Bengals visiting the Kansas City Chiefs, the dominant Chiefs, the favorite Chiefs. Everyone but you on this podcast panel would chose the Chiefs. So overall, give me your thoughts on the whole game and then the results, and then I know you're ready for this one.
So I didn't choose the Bengals because I hate the Chiefs. I've made that clear in
Yep.
podcasts before. Like,
Yep.
I given their dues what they're due. But I just was not gonna take the Bengals out from this run. Like they've surprised, and there have been that little annoying little fly that just keeps like coming back and coming back and coming back. So that's why I chose them. And watching the game at the beginning, I was like, man, that's it. I was like, I guess the Bengals are gonna get shut out, but they did not. They came back on the third. They second half, no response from Mahomes at all.
No,
No
it's from the
offensive,
team.
nothing. Um, so for them to go all the way, dude, that sixth quarter, he had 6 minutes on the clock. He had 6 minutes on the damn clock, and he messed up on the last two plays at the goal line.
Yep.
All you had to do was kick the ball. All you had to do was kick the ball and win the game and go to the Super Bowl. But you wanted to get greedy.
No. They didn't have to kick the ball. They had to make a touchdown.
No,
They were down by 3. They were down. No, they weren't. They were down by 3.
Oh yeah, no, never mind. Yeah,
They were down by 3.
Yeah, because they tied the touchdown. But it's like
the argument is that
they
were at the 4, and then they can just run up the clock and then run in the touchdown. What happens is Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs decide, let's pass these damn plays. Let's go ahead and throw it, and he takes 2 big sacks, and it puts him all the way back for a 44.
Sack and a fumble.
Yeah, he was strip sacked, but they recovered, and then they were able to tie it up. So let me tell you what happened in my household. Okay, so
I feel like I want to like sit like still for this one.
You've been waiting for me to tell the story. That's why.
Well, you just told me that something happened, but you didn't give me the specifics, and I was like, I wonder what happened.
No, because you wanted to know, and I was like, can we wait to the podcast? Can we wait till we get on video so I get your actual initial reaction?
All right, well, tell me.
So good old Marco Monreal, who has yet to eat a chip, big old Kansas City Chiefs fan, aka Patrick Mahomes fan, came to my household and he said, let's watch the game together. I said, absolutely, bro. Let's watch this game. I got your team winning. Let's have a good time. Let's hang out. Let's watch some fucking football. Let's do it. And that first half is essentially a thrashing for the most part, right? It's 21-3. It's a beatdown. Marco is like, let's go, let's fucking go, let's do it. Yeah, baby. And so it's fun. It's awesome, for him to be happy. I've been there before. I've known happiness in playoffs. It'll be a while before I can know that again. So I'm happy for him, right? My wife is a straight up savage. She's like, when the defense is putting pressure on him and he starts scrambling to the left or right, she's like, hit him! Hit him! and so she's mad the whole time. So at one point we leave for get some food. So we go to Raising Cane's. It's 21-3, whatever, no problem. We come back, it's halftime, it's 21-10. We're like, what happened? And we catch the replays. They scored a touchdown. And then Tyreek Hill tries to go for a touchdown himself at the end of the half, and then they fail. And essentially now it makes Eli Apple apparently the greatest cornerback of all time. So anywho, then you start seeing the crumbling down. Then you start seeing the inaccurate passes from Patrick Mahomes. It's like, and then you just see Marco just like slowly like getting quiet, just like starts sulking down, start getting so upset, pissed at the world. It's like, get the ball! Fuck, it hit you off the hands. What the fuck? Mahomes is not accurate as fuck. Ah! Like just anger. And my wife is like, yeah, you suck. You suck. Yeah, take it like a man, Marco. Take it like a man. Because he has his jersey up onto his face, like he can't believe it. Because at this point, the Bengals have all caught up. And he was all talking trash the whole time. Jamar Chase ain't gonna do shit. They shut him down. He ain't gonna do nothing. Then Jamar Chase starts catching all these balls. Then he starts moving the ball. Ain't no problem for him. That defense is collapsing. Fucking Daniel Sorensen's still alive. He fucking fucks everything up for that squad. And my wife is just going in on him. Yeah, hit him, yeah. And she's pumped and if y'all ever meet my wife, she is quiet as fuck. Like this woman does not have high blood pressure. This woman is quiet. So for her to like go angry and just go, hit
And
him!
cheers for the
Hit him!"
Bengals, dude. The fact that he was cheering
No.
for the Bengals, that's even like,
Bro, she cheers anytime against the Chiefs. I'll tell you that right now. She'll cheer anytime. And I told Marco why. And I told him, look, Marco, there's 3 reasons why I cheer against the Chiefs sometimes, but I respect them. Her reason is just one of those reasons. So I'll tell you what my Nick Wright from Fox Sports, knowing as fuck with the Chiefs, he's a big Chiefs homer. Jackson Mahomes, I can't stand that kid. Nobody can. Nobody can. I'll leave his wife alone. Brittany Matthews is whatever. Like, she can do her own thing. And the third is Marco. And that's where me and my wife, have in common. Like, if I can't stand the Chiefs, it's Marco sometimes. I'll be honest with you. It's Marco. And I love the kid. I love him. He's family. I love him. With the deep in my soul, though. This kid nauseates me sometimes when he goes, 18-0, 17-0, undefeated, champion, baby goat, let's go. I'm like, calm your titties. He has 1 ring. He lost to the GOAT in the bowl. Calm your titties. There ain't no guarantees in life. No, man, there's nobody in the AFC that can beat him. No, man, no. The Bills couldn't do it. They had a chance. They can't beat him, dude. No, the Bengals, we wrecked the fucking Raiders twice, brother. That's like,
the Bengals beat them.
And beat them twice.
The same way, too.
And I'm like, Marco, chill. And then we're going in. So my wife has been on him the whole time, right? And this has become a whole giant story. So I'm telling Mark. So Marco's like, all right, we're gonna win the coin toss, and we're gonna fucking win this game. I'm like, so in my head,
Did he jinx the Chiefs though? Is this the reason why they lost?
No, not him. Jackson Mahomes did that. But so I said this, and this is how I feel when it comes to overtime rules. If you have the momentum and you get the ball first, yeah, you'll win the game all day. You'll have when the Patriots beat the Chiefs, momentum in the 2018 Conference Championship,
When the
momentum.
Bills
When the
lost
when the Cowboys beat the Patriots this year, Cowboys had momentum, so of course they're going to win. When the Chiefs beat the Bills, you're absolutely right. The Chiefs had momentum because they just came back from 13-second fucking comeback, and that broke the Bills, and that defense sucked ass. So with the Chiefs even winning the coin toss, I was like, it's not over.
Nah.
It's not. And he was confident. Of course, he wants to be
confident.
The
whole stadium was confident.
The whole stadium
started celebrating.
Yeah. Tim, the tap man out there, if you don't know who he is, he's a jinx. So he said a Chief. So, anywho, 13 seconds later, then he throws a fucking interception.
It took him 13 seconds to beat the Bills, and it took him 13 seconds to lose the championship, man. Like,
wow. And it was at that point the silence, and my wife goes, "Yeah, yeah, yeah!" The bravado in this woman, and like she was in. Or you know this, you know how quiet she is. She ain't a firecracker. This ain't her. This is all just years of just DeMarco shoving down our throats, saying, no, best ever, they're gonna win. When he showed up, he got in his jersey, and then my kid saw him. My kid started crying because my kid already hates the Chiefs. I was like, there you go.
I can't right now, kid. Man. This is freaking hilarious.
So okay, so the end of the story, pretty much that was it. Marco was done. He was quiet for the next 5 minutes. I even nudged him hey, you want to eat the chip? He just shook his head no. But he doesn't say nothing to my wife. His own cousin this whole time, by the way. He doesn't come back at her. He just looks at her like,
hey, give me a quick second. I'm going to step out real quick. Give me a quick second.
All right, go for it. All right. So, guys, for that story, oh, man, it's just insane. Like, yeah, so my thoughts on the Bengals overcoming the Chiefs now that we got through that story. Proud of the Bengals, man, because they've been showing this grit, this fight that, they showed no fear. And it's not just against the Chiefs, it's against everybody. I've been saying this even with the award show recently, even prior to that, I was like, Joe Burrow, he's not here to play, man. he's not here to. This ain't no just regular game for him. This is serious. This is his career. He knows how to win, and he has this chip on his shoulder when the Ohio State wouldn't play him, and so now you got him moving forward, to play with LSU and do better things. And I was just saying Joe Burrow has a chip on his shoulder. I was talking about why they're overcoming the odds. But I'm saying that Joe Burrow has that chip that is just he's not here to play games, Art. This is like serious for him. Like this is like every game is a fucking championship game for him almost. Like this guy had torn fucking ligaments to the like he wasn't supposed to play 100% this season, bro. And he just with the shitty O line, like we argue that Penei Sewell should have been drafted instead of Jamar Chase, and just to still come back and like overcome every team, the AFC North, they overcame the fucking Raiders in the first round. They overcame God, who were they overcoming the second? The Titans. And then they overcome the Chiefs. Like, that's insane, dude. Like, they should not be in the Super Bowl. Nobody predicted it. They were plus 8,000 in betting odds, if they're going to make the Super Bowl or not. Dude, whoever gambled that they're going to make it, fuck it. You're rich, kid. You are rich, man. All right, overall, what are your thoughts on the Bengals over the Chiefs now that the story's over?
Nah, man, I think it was hilarious. I told you, and when I saw the predictions from all the guys, I was like, I'm gonna enjoy this whenever they win, and just the same way that he just kind of throws that shit, because he does that every time that we're all together. He just says, Mahomes this, Mahomes that, the Chiefs this, and it's like, all right, I get it. My franchise ain't the best. I don't care. I'll do it. Like, you can trash talk my franchise as much as you want, but if you can't take some trash talk back after you talk so much trash to other people, it's like your wife just wanted to like tell him so much, and the fact that the Bengals won, man, like no one expected it.
They're
No one
cousins.
expected it.
They're like almost 10 years apart, and it's just hilarious. This is the way my wife went in, and I'm proud to have a wife that watches football with me, man. Because my God, what the passion! I can't wait. I almost wish the Chiefs did win the Super Bowl, so that when I invite everybody for the Super Bowl party, everyone can see my wife going. But rarity for those who get to watch the real her. My brother-in-law was here, her brother, so he saw everything, and he was like tramado with all the fucking shit going on. He was just looking at her like, "Damn, chill, dude."
So let me ask this: who you got winning the Super Bowl then?
Whoa! Let's talk about the NFC game. What the fuck? You just want to skip over like that?
Heck yeah! Who cares about that other game?
No, I care. That was a good game too. It was close.
It was a good comeback. Also,
so give me your thoughts on Rams finally defeating the 49ers and clinching their spot to the Super Bowl.
It was close. It looked like they were gonna lose, but
you were already counting them out.
I was already saying, like, man, are we really gonna have a Bengals 49ers Super Bowl? I was like, this is gonna be
No, you said it was over. I can't believe you were saying it was already over. I was like, sir, have you not learned anything from today's
I
games?
said, are we gonna have a Bengals 49ers Super Bowl?
I was like, it's not done. You're like, it's not done, but it might as well be.
I said, might as well be if they're gonna be playing like that. But no, it was a good game. It was nice to see. The Rams didn't have any sacks, which was kind of interesting, but it's the same thing, man. Like, they were able to beat the clock. I don't believe they had any sacks. And if they did, I think it was the last one. But
towards the last quarter, yeah, because they did have sacks.
But the Rams, I don't think the Rams did.
Are you saying Matthew Stafford got sacked, or are you saying the Rams defense sacked?
The defense from the Rams. I don't think they got a sack the whole game.
I'll double check. But keep talking. I'll double check.
They got tips and everything, but no sacks. No, it was a good game. It was entertaining, but it was just not like, I guess, seeing the reaction from the Rams. Being able to have Stafford taking them to a Super Bowl after being with the Lions and not being able to make it there.
3 QB hits here, right? No sacks.
But no, it was good. It was a good game. I was more entertained on the Bengals game against the Chiefs, but it was a good game.
I think you have that inner feeling too. You were just like Viviana. You wanted to scream, "Fuck the Chiefs! Fuck
Well,
them!"
I did it because my wife, she is a Chiefs fan. Well, not a big fan, but she lived in Missouri, so she likes
So
Kansas.
by
She
default,
likes Mahomes by default. That's what she goes for. So when I told her, I was like, the Bengals beat the Chiefs. She was like, no. And I was like, yes. She was like, no. And I was like, yes. I was like, they lost. And I just rubbed it on her face. It was hilarious, but not as bad as what Viviana did to the co-host.
no, she curb stomped Marquitos bad, dude. Like, guys, I'm not kidding when I say this, and he might prove it wrong. He might listen to this later. Sorry, Marco. I mean, I wanted to tell a story, and I wanted you on so that way you could.
You did invite him, didn't you?
I did invite him, just like I invited him last year after the Super Bowl, and he was very adamant of not showing up, and he didn't show up for like 6 or 7 months. So I'm gonna assume the same timeline. I don't think we're gonna have Marco on the podcast for about 6-7 months. We'll see what happens, but
So then, are
hopefully
we
sooner.
assuming that he isn't gonna do the chip challenge, the bet that he lost in like a year or so?
I don't think he's gonna do whatever. I think he's gonna run from it. I'll say it right now on YouTube. I think he will run from it. I don't think he's gonna do it.
Damn.
It is what it is, man. Everyone that was in the household who made the bet, they could rag on him forever. He just might not show up for that yet. He might. I'll tell him, hey, yeah, everyone's gonna be there. He's like, nah, I won't show. That might happen. I don't know. I like, man. I took it like a man. I hurt.
Jesse took it like a man. Hey, if I had lost, I was gonna take 2 chips.
Oh, that's dangerous.
That's even worse. I know, that's what I'm saying, but I still would have done it.
If anything, I would have just told you take the 1 chip, just do double the time.
But damn, dude,
because I think you would have died with 2 chips, and I don't want you to die. You're my buddy. I don't want you to die. Yeah. So we can rag on Marco anytime we want him to. So let's go ahead and talk about the Super Bowl matchup. It is going to be the Cincinnati Bengals wearing their black jerseys versus the Los Angeles Rams in LA in SoFi Stadium wearing their white jerseys. Who do you got, Mark? Who do you have in this matchup? A matchup that no one saw coming.
I'm going to have the Bengals winning it all the way.
Really?
I'm going to stick to my gut. I'm going to stick to the Bengals. I think Stafford chokes. Sounds sad, but I think he chokes.
Dude, here's my thing, and this is like what's driving me insane. I don't know if I can bet against. I'm not even saying Matthew Stafford. I don't know if I can bet
the
against
defense.
No, well that too, but let me say it like Cooper Kupp, OBJ, fucking Cam Akers is back. Sonny Michel's rocking pretty good. That O-line's holding up. Aaron Donald, Leonard Floyd, Jalen Ramsey, like fucking. What's his name came back from retirement and just fucking Eric Weddle, like, bro, like you're telling
Von
me
Miller.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
The odds are stacked against
the odds
them,
should not, but and like look, if we had an argument why like the Rams facing the Bengals is a better matchup, is a tougher matchup than them facing the Chiefs, is because the Chiefs matchup is more on the offensive side. Like we can say like the Chiefs got better with Melvin Ingram and all this other stuff, but that defense, bro, is tough. And I'm not saying that they can't get points on them, right? Like, because they've lost games. They let Tom Brady come back to tie it up, and almost cost them the game there. They let the Niners put up 17 points on them early, but I'm gonna go with the Rams, bro. I've not been betting against the Bengals in any of the games, so look, that might be the case again where they go ahead and win. Since I haven't bet with them anytime during this postseason, but dude, with all those names coming out, I just can't bet against the Rams, bro. Like it's just a tough matchup for me to let go. And I actually want Cooper Kupp to win a title, bro. Like, and OBJ, redemption for the shit that he went through with the Browns and the Giants, like all this media trash bashing that he's been getting, like making him sound like if he's a horrible guy, bad guy, and all this shit. Like, nah, man. Like, I'm gonna go for OBJ. I'm gonna go for Cooper Kupp. Those guys, Robert Woods is on the sideline. I'm gonna go for those guys. Like, those are fucking really good guys. And I'm not saying Joe Burrow isn't, but like these guys have been there for a while and they fucking have earned their spot. Like they didn't ask for Jared Goff, they didn't ask for Baker Mayfield, they didn't ask for Eli Manning. Like these guys, they earned their shit. And Matthew Stafford, he's having a fucking resurgence here. Like he's doing what he did in Detroit, but now with a winning team. So I'm gonna go with the Rams on this one, man. And a very tight matchup though. I'll say 31-28. 31-28 Rams. So what do you think? What's your score? What's your final score?
I think they're gonna keep it close.
I think last I saw they were only like it was a 4-point difference. They're only like the Rams were only favorites by minus 3.5 or minus 4.
Mm-hmm. What was your score?
31-28.
Let's do 20. I don't think they're gonna go that high though. I think they're gonna go.
Well, with that offense, I'm gonna say high. When they faced the Niners, it was because that Niners defense is very underrated and they are really good in my opinion.
31-34.
You just went higher than me. You just said they're not going to be that high. You just went higher than me.
Now let's keep it interesting. I think 31-34, and I think it's gonna be decided by a kick again.
They're insane.
Mm-hmm.
Evan McPherson might break the single postseason record that Adam Vinatieri has. I think he has like 14 or 15. I think he's right there. He's at 12, so he might break it. So that's gonna be interesting, bro. That ain't for another 11 days. So, and then that's the end of the football season until we can talk about the draft. We can talk about all these other stuff, but then we don't have a football game, not an NFL football game. But let me go back real quick to like just before we end it, going back to the Brian Flores thing. Do you think Brian Flores wins this case?
I think he does.
Why?
Just because of the time that we're in, I feel like they may just use it as a sounds bad, but as a publicity stunt of saying, "Oh, look, we're changing," kind of thing. Let's give him the win. They're gonna come to an agreement and everything, but he's gonna win this.
So you think they're gonna settle? It's not gonna be a win. It's not a win if he settles. I'll say that it's not a win if
he's not going to settle. But I feel like he's gonna win, but he's not gonna they're gonna come to a conclusion where the NFL is not gonna lose too much.
Because that's where Colin Kaepernick went wrong. He settled. That's why nobody essentially almost not respect. I would say that's where he lost some credibility because he settled. Because in the end, he took money to shut up. But man, personally, we're on that. I think for Brian Flores, he needs more than just Hugh Jackman. Name blanking out. He needs more help. He needs the holy and these players that are online saying we stand with Brian Flores. If you really want to stand, boycott the NFL. Boycott playing. That's crazy as that sounds, right? It sucks because I as a fan, I don't want the games to stop. But for the greater good, I think coaches, that have been with those issues, even current coaches like a Bill Belichick, even a Sean Payton who just retired, I think these guys need to step up. If you really want to, don't just print a label on the back of your helmet that says "End racism," "Stop hate," all this stuff. Do something. Do something that's really impactful. Make the NFL's wallet hurt. Personally, I think that's what they need to do. I think the players and the coaches need to boycott. And if they don't, then this shit is just going to keep on happening. And then you can scream all you want as oh, well, there's racial problems here and all this other stuff. Well, when are you going to step up and do something about it? This is your time. This is your chance. This is your chance to stand with Brian Flores. If he's willing to do career suicide as far as a head coaching job for the rest of his life and impacting big on his family, dude, y'all and if y'all really care about this stuff, do it too. Like that's the end of like that's the real thing. And then people are gonna be like, well, are you gonna boycott watching the games and stuff like that? Fuck no. I'm not getting paid for this shit. I'm not. No, hell no. I'm gonna tell you right
I'm not
now.
gonna watch them.
I'm gonna keep watching. I'm not gonna be that guy that says I'm not gonna watch the games anymore and all this stuff, and then come back and watching it. No, I'm gonna keep watching it because I love covering sports. I love talking about football, basketball, all this other shit. But I want something to happen. I want them to be real ramifications for this kind of shit. You know, like what are we gonna do? Are we just gonna always talk about it as in this case for the players and the coaches, staff members? Like, or are you gonna be about it? So if no one really steps up to like help, back Brian Flores saying like, hey, we'll fight with you. You ain't about it. You about the money and that's about it. You about the green, not about the racial colors. So that's my take on it. People might not like it. People might like it, but there's a lot of people that might not like it. So anything else you want to say, Art, before we close out?
Nah, man. I'm looking forward for a Super Bowl. And when is the Super Bowl? What day is it? What does it fall on?
February 13. Are you gonna be at the hospital or are you gonna be home?
Nah,
or
I'm gonna be in the hospital on the 9th and the 10th.
Okay. You want me to go to you? No, I'm kidding. I know for a few weeks, probably not, but I mean, congratulations, brother. It's a week from now, so
Yep.
big day. My son's gonna meet his future wife. Yep.
That's why we're gonna make you. That's why we're gonna think about making you the padrino. So they can't be together or anything, right? That would kind of kill that.
Nah, that's not.
Or will
related.
Jesse and Kim get jealous? I'll just make Vivi the padrino for both of them. She can wear a suit and a what is it called, a dress or something. That'd be hilarious.
She's gonna be both the man and the woman.
It's new times, man.
What? Shit.
Nah, I'm joking. No, we don't know who we're gonna choose yet. But
yeah, no, bro. We'll talk about it afterwards. This is some funny shit. Anyways, all right, bro. Any other plugs?
Oh man, no, y'all can find me at Beach with AI on Instagram. Hit me up if you guys have any questions there for anything remodel or architecture based or anything, man. I'll be glad to help you guys out with anything.
That's right. All right, guys, and y'all can follow the podcast on Instagram at Puro Pinche Sports. Follow the podcast on Twitter at Pinche Sports Pod. For Arturo Ibarra, for Alex de la Cruz, who hopefully fixes Wi-Fi. Hopefully he doesn't try to jump back after we're off. I am Jose Yarza. We are Puro Pinche Sports, and we are out.